Hi and welcome to No Budget, the show for Hi and welcome to No Budget, the show for filmmakers with no budget by filmmakers with no budget. I am sitting here talking tonight with Maura O'Reilly. Sorry, Maura. I'm sitting here. I was very close. I am talking to Maura Foley and Kieran. Maura.
Leave that in. This is brilliant. Just keep rolling. This could be a DVD, man.
Okay, Maura Foley and Kieran O'Reilly. Okay, and they are in a film called For Molly. So let's just start off with talking about the film really quickly. Describe the film, because you're the main character in the film.
We're both the main characters, I suppose it's fair to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because all I've seen is the preview. I haven't actually seen the film.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about
the film. Is Evan and Laura are in a relationship together. They're engaged to be married. Laura is pregnant, and Evan receives a shock cancer diagnosis, and he takes to record a series of video logs for his unborn child. And basically the film deals with their lives as a couple, and through the video logs you get a very in-depth understanding of their world.
Okay. And you wrote the film?
Yes.
And where did the idea come from?
The idea came from Cathal Kenna, the director.
Mm-hmm.
He came to me with the concept and with the premise for the film, and we met a few times, and there was no script at that point. And as those kind of meetings evolved, I kind of undertook to write the film, which took about 4 months. But before kind of I even put pen to paper, and before once I knew that she existed, and in that world I knew, which is a bit weird, but I knew it was Maura, in the sense that she was just perfect. She was their role, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. So then I had to kind of contact Maura and see if she'd be amenable to taking part and to playing the role.
Okay. And because you're normally an actor, have you written much before?
I've
Don't worry, Maura, we'll get to you. Okay.
Just hang on there for a second. I've written a number of scripts, probably since 2013, but this has actually been the first that is being
produced?
Produced.
Great.
Yeah.
And okay, so you wrote it, you're starring in it, and then how do you know Maura and then? You can tell this story if you want.
Okay, I'll tell the story.
I'll have my coffee.
Myself and Kieran met in
Paris, 69. How many times?
in the Actors Studio in Bow Street. So I think we've done a few workshops together. And then, so he approached me about 7 months before we shot the film and asked me if I would be interested. And he pitched the idea, and I thought it was like really interesting, very challenging, and it's such a heavy topic. So I thought, okay. And the way it was going to be shot as well, I thought was quite interesting. So, so from then I said, yeah, sure, let's try it. And then so Kieran started working on the script, and we would meet up and work on their backstory and Laura and Evan's relationship, and just to try and make it as authentic as possible, I guess. So we were doing that about 4 months or something before the shoot.
Like a lot of work, a lot of communication.
Yeah, and then we shot it in 5 days. So it was kind of crazy. It was like a slow burn, and then it just was like.
Okay. And so that preparation really kind of allowed you guys to shoot it in such a short period of time?
Yeah, I think it did, because we were kind of, it kind of just, a lot of it became organic, or just kind of quite, I don't know, it was a lot easier that way, because we had talked so much about their characters, about their jobs, about all sorts of different little traits that they might have. So yeah, I mean, it definitely helped.
We came kind of ready-made, because we nearly existed in the roles before we got to the set. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of had to give that respect to such a heavy topic. You need to really just put time and effort into it, because you don't want to misrepresent something. So it was important for us to really do a good job.
And you both were on Love Hate, but you don't know each other from that? Or did you guys know each other? Why did you work on it at the same time, or was it on different times? At different times.
Well, yeah, I was like a day player. I was just I was Tommy's nurse, so I wasn't.
Yeah, but that was a great scene, and
That's why it stood out. I was like, oh, from the scene in Love Hate. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but no, but I remembered it. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. I was on it, but we didn't. Our paths never crossed. But that kind of happens very regularly on things. Like I think people assume when they see something assembled on screen that But there's loads of people I didn't meet either. So.
So I know you have an interesting backstory because you played a detective on the show, but you were a detective in real life, right?
Yes.
Is that a touchy subject?
No, I just I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I played that. Yeah.
And is that like how you got? I'm just curious, like that transition from going from a police detective to an actor.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I've always loved the concept of acting, singing, writing, poetry, everything. So for me, I'm still trying to kind of find, myself and develop the craft. But I think it kind of came semi-natural.
Okay. And so you're no longer with the Guardia? Is it
Yeah,
your full...
I am. I'm in an office job.
Oh, okay. So it allows you the time to kind of do both and stuff like that. Is that difficult?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of plate spinning, but no, it's fine.
Great. That's interesting stuff. No, I just think it's fascinating. Like, not only like people that can, because I know, I mean, acting's difficult in the sense of, especially, auditions. Like, hey, I've got an audition for you tomorrow. And it's like, well, I have to work. So how do you kind of like manage both of those careers? It's
it's a bit of plate spinning, but I think, I think life is plate spinning for everyone nowadays. Really,
you kind of make it work if you if you want to do it, you just have to figure something out.
That's great. And you've been on Fair City, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A few years ago. It was just a small little role again.
Okay.
She might return. You never know.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that a spoiler, Maura?
Well, okay, so let's get back to the film. People like to know a little backstory and stuff like that on these things. So with the film itself, it's a serious subject. Did you take any of that from real life? Or like, I guess I'm really curious, like where the idea came from it. Like, why did you decide to write this particular story?
Well, the idea, like Cathal came, he is an ideas man. I've said it in countless interviews. He's an ideas man. He has some very, very, very good ideas. And if some of the ideas that I've been exposed to, if he pursues some of them, they'll be fabulous films. Do
you know where he came with the idea?
I don't actually. As in, I know that he has had exposures to cancer in his personal life, people he knows, but he's quite private about that, and I suppose rightly so. So the premise of the concept when he came to me was that, a man gets diagnosed with cancer and commits to doing a series of video blogs for his unborn child and whatever else. And at the start, we were discussing, I think he kind of wanted to shoot it in a kind of Ken Loach style, which could be fantastic as well. It's a great way of working. And for me, I kind of was leaning towards the structure of a script because, there's a lot of things kind of interwoven, timeline and that whole progressive journey of Evan and Laura and all their different stories. So I kind of went off then and kind of accentuated kind of various aspects of that concept and incorporated kind of various other characters and stuff like that, and made several different stories out of like everyone has their own little story, I think, in a way, to a degree. But what I based it on, I suppose, was I think everyone has had some exposure to cancer, whether directly or indirectly. But and given how prevalent the disease is, that there's an abundance of material in tragic stories. It's very accessible and stuff like that. So, through talking to people and through research, that's right.
Okay. Well, I'm going to throw it to a preview of the film. We'll go to the preview and then we'll come back, finish up, and call it good at that. So here's For Molly.
My name is
I'm your dad. Which is crazy. Anyway, I have a thing called cancer. And by the time you're old enough to watch these, I might not still be around, which is not very cool, but that's life. So I thought it might be nice for me to make some video recordings to show you who I am, or who I was, and just leave something for you that might be able to help in some way.
Well, don't be looking at me like that. I'm dying with the flu.
You're not dying. I am.
So that was For Molly, heavy stuff. Did you find, as you were I mean, you shot it over 5 days. Was it hard to kind of let go in the evening, or was it just kind of, I imagine long days if you're shooting in such a short period of time. Like, was it kind of hard to let go of at the end of the day?
Yeah, what for me anyway. It was about a 40-minute drive from where I live, so that was like a huge part of my process, I suppose. Was that drive and just leaving my life and moving into this new world. So that really helped me, and listening to music and specific albums, and then coming back. Yeah, it was just that whole thing really helped me. Did you do that?
Yeah. I kind of I found it hard to leave it on the set, though, to be honest with you. I did. I personally found it quite hard to leave it on the set. Kind of consumed me, I felt, anyway,
Well, during the break there, we were talking, and you mentioned that you have children. Did you find, like, you're thinking, like, if this happened to me, what would I say to my children or something like that? Because I kind of imagine myself being that way too. If I found I had a terminal illness, like, what would I say to my children, knowing that they're going to see it well after I'm gone? Was there any of that? I don't know. Do you have children?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, I mean, it's a really scary thought, and it's. I mean, gosh, it's just horrible to think about. Yeah. So yeah, it does come into your mind. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it occupied, a lot of thoughts and a lot of decision, and yeah.
Okay. And so, get to the film. It opens next Wednesday the 3rd, or sorry, Thursday the 3rd.
Thursday the 4th. Yeah, that's it.
Thursday the 4th of October.
Thursday week in Dundrum.
Okay. So in Dundrum at what theatre?
It's Movies at Dundrum this day weekend, Thursday the 4th, and it's a public premiere. People can buy tickets, and some portion of those tickets, portion of the box office, will be donated to the Irish Cancer Society and various other cancer support groups and charities. Yeah.
Great. I guess, like, with that, do you know, is there any plans after that premiere? Like, what Cathal, and are you a producer on it as well, since you wrote it, or?
Yeah, I think I've been given that credit, but I think Cathal has
kind of, I guess, what's the plans after the premiere?
I don't know, actually. I mean, in the sense that, well, it has a national release in selected Irish cinemas, so it's in like 10 omniplexes, and it's in Swords, Rathmines, Dundrum, and it's in a variety of other ones, and Cork, Dungarvan, all these places, and it's on the website formollymovie.com.
Okay.
Is that right?
I think so.
It's on our Twitters.
No,
it's on our
no
Twitter.
worries. I'll throw a link in the video.
So I think it's a week
to the website, and so that way, like, if people want to, if they can't make it to the next week, they can look and see if it's showing in a theater near closer to where they're at, and anything like that. Perfect. Is there anything else that I should have asked you that I did not? I've never once entered an interview with this question. Is there anything else I should have asked you that I didn't?
What was the most difficult? Let me see. What was the best? Yeah, I'm going to ask you. What was the best or worst? I don't know, actually. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess, what's the thing that you guys took from the film that you'll take going forward? Like,
it does make me think a lot more about certain things. I think stop and smell the roses. Just be more mindful. That's a real, like, trigger word at the moment, but I think it's really important to just yeah, take a breath and appreciate what you've got and who you have with you.
Yeah, I think everyone actually, cast, crew, everyone that was exposed to this film and the making of it, I think that we were all became very aware of how delicate life is. And you know, how I suppose we fixate on things that are more or less irrelevant, and we really have to cherish things. And it was in an interview that you said that the other day. You said that, you know, if you were to sum up the film and, you know, what does this film mean, or I'm not sure what way it was, but you said this film will make you stop and smell the roses. And everyone that was there kind of went, that's, you know, and I think that's you'll get it when you see the film.
It's absolutely a super valuable lesson in life. Like, my stepfather died from cancer, actually, and well, it was long ago, so. But it is interesting now because my brother has children who obviously, you know, my stepbrother, his dad, right, and does that make sense? My stepdad, his son. Anyway, so he has children now, and it is interesting talking to him because, of course, his children will never meet their grandfather and that kind of stuff. And it's interesting, just kind of like we when we get together, you know, because I'm the oldest child, and so he'll ask me questions about his dad because I know him better than he does, just because he was so much younger, you know, at the time. And it's absolutely true. Like, I think back to times in life and like, oh, you know, that time we were out fishing, doing that thing, or, you know, whatever. And you do appreciate it more when the person's gone. And even though he wasn't my real dad, like, you know, we still had a relationship. And I think about that with people that I know too, how much time we spend working and doing all this other stuff versus just appreciating being with people. And so if somebody can see a film like this and walk out of that cinema and like go spend time with somebody,
Yeah,
or,
then,
you know,
then I
that's
think then we've
fantastic.
done our job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Two last questions. I know I said I'm almost done. Lighting on this film was done by Colm Sexton, who is a friend of the show. Great person or awful human being?
Fantastic person, great lighting.
Great lighting.
They're such liars. Look at the. I mean, come on. No.
Colin was actually, he's one of the most enthusiastic people. He was really, really positive, really enthusiastic, and yeah, I mean, he was.
He's so great to work with. Like, he really is. Like, Claire and I worked on a film with him, and it was fascinating just down there, like how just he would, okay, oh, you need, you know, I've got that in the trunk of my car, I can get that out. And like, you know, 'cause so he was helping out in other areas. Like, he wasn't just focused on, you know, doing his thing, and just, he was a great person to work with. So I just wanted to throw a shout out to Colin because he's fantastic.
Hey, Colin.
Perfect. And last thing, just as an FYI, all three of us are left-handed, which means we're smarter than all of the rest of you. All right. Perfect. If anyone wants to find either of you, do you have Twitter, Instagram, any of those social media?
Twitter, yeah.
Okay,
Maura
and where can they-
Foley.
I think it is. Yeah.
Foley.Maura.
Maura Foley.
Or is it Maura Foley?
Maura Foley, yeah.
Maura Foley. Okay. And
Kieran O'Reilly.
so if you want to track them down, Maura Foley, Kieran O'Reilly. If you want to track us down, at No Budget Show, and go check this film out. Opens Thursday the 4th of October, or in a theater near you. Goodbye.